Everyone, welcome to The Putter Throw. Cheers, buddy.
You have no beer left. Like,
I know.
how are you going to do the putter throw with no beer in your
It's all right. The Putter Throw, where we just both get pissed about something. It could be anything. Pat, would you like to go first or me?
You go first, because I want a few more sips of alcohol before I get really mad.
Okay, I'm about to do something. I'm about to talk about. This is gonna be weird for me. All right, I had an idea for the putter throw, and then at the very last minute, it changed. Pat sent me an article to a link talking about the state of Georgia and gambling being legalized in the state of Georgia, and there is a push, thankfully, by a representative in Pat's lovely hometown of Savannah. A push to go ahead and get this through, but he mentions, it's got to be voted on, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the article, they cite this group and this person.
I knew this was going to get you. This is really why I sent you this, because I knew this was
fantastic.
Set you off.
So, and maybe we can track this lady down. Virginia Galloway is the regional director of a Faith and Freedom Coalition, right? And she said that gambling brings crime and corruption to states where it's legal. Here's a quote. Any state that's got gambling in it, you probably wouldn't want to live. First of all, that's a dumb statement. False, Mrs. Galloway. You don't speak for me. And yes, I do. And there are a whole lot more I can't even begin to think about the countless other decisions I would make to live in a different state that have absolutely nothing to do whether or not gambling is legalized. Like, that doesn't freaking matter. She says, I don't want my state to become Louisiana, New Jersey, or Illinois. Okay. It absolutely kills me. She talked about how, she's a Bible Belt person. Okay. And this is where it's about to get real for me. I'm a Christian. Okay. I have debated what I do here with Tour Junkies, with people, and whether, playing fantasy football is gambling or whatever, the whole means of gambling. And what drives me freaking nuts is Bible thumpers like Virginia Galloway who want to cast the sin stone, the direction of gamblers, right? And cite this insane stuff, when there is absolutely nothing in the Bible. If we're going to talk about Virginia Galloway's standard, the Bible says nothing about gambling explicitly. It does not say that it's wrong. It does talk about the love of money is wrong. The love of money is wrong. I took this opportunity to not only rant, but also to say, hey, if you truly have a gambling problem, you probably don't need to listen to our podcast. Like, listen to our interviews, listen to our PGA Tour players, our caddy interviews, all that stuff. Listen to those. If you have a gambling problem, if you are gambling more money than is recreational for you, and you're not prioritizing your money to be able to, support your church or a nonprofit or your family or whatever that is, and then using the excess that is entertainment money in DFS or betting, then you don't need to listen to our show, okay? Because it's probably going to inspire you to do things that you shouldn't do. The love of money is what the Bible refers to as sin, but that is about motivation. It is not about the act of gambling or playing a fantasy sport. I honestly don't do this because I love money. Like, I don't do this even because I think I'm going to win. I actually pretty much know I'm not going to win. Like, newsflash, like, even all the talking heads out there that are, touting all these things, like, most of the time they lose. And even if they send you a contest screenshot of them in first and they're not showing you all the other contests they've entered where they've lost everything, like, this is a losing game for the most part. What is the number? Like, most professional gamblers would tell you if they make 53, if they win 53 or 54% of the time, it's considered like a good year or a good thing. Like, this is a losing venture, and I've been doing this 5 years to know I'm gonna lose. If I loved money, I wouldn't do this. I do it because I love.
We would have quit this crap a long time ago.
I do this because I love I love the feeling of the competition. I love that it actually drives me to research and to dig deeper and to learn more and to be more involved. It makes me root for it. It entertains me. It's entertainment. It's like going to a freaking movie. And I remember explaining this to my wife years ago when we first got married. By the way, tomorrow's our 13-year anniversary. But when we first got married, we fought about.
I just had my 15th year anniversary.
Yeah, that's right.
2 days ago. Okay, good.
Happy anniversary. When we first got married, she's like, I don't know about this gambling. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm like, okay, well, is it a gamble when you pick out a movie on freaking Fandango and we spend $48 on tickets and Cokes and popcorn to go possibly see a really crappy movie that we're going to waste 2 hours of our, like, that's a freaking gamble. Like, there's so many things that are gambling. This Virginia Galloway probably has a 401k account. She's probably in the stock market. Guess what you're doing? You're freaking gambling. Like, it just drives me nuts. And moderation is also the key. If we want to go back to the Bible here, it's all about moderation. Alcohol is in moderation. Gambling or what you spend your money on in moderation, right? Like, moderation is key. So if I have prioritized my finances the way that I should, where if I'm a Christian or whatever and I pay a tithe and then I make sure my bills are paid and I make sure I'm not, my family is taken care of, and I make sure, that I'm not, doing things that are very inappropriate with then this is entertainment. Like, I'm spending my entertainment money. And it just pisses me off to think that people like her, because I live in the Bible Belt, so do you, that people like her could potentially thwart legalized gambling in the next couple of months as we go to vote. And I'm going to be sitting here stuck with it because I'm dying to freaking be in a sport where it's legal, and it just, back to the Bible, there are examples in the Old Testament and the New Testament, of people casting lots, which is gambling. The disciples casted lots to determine who would replace Judas after he betrayed Jesus. They freaking casted lots. Joshua casted lots in the Old Testament. Like, it happened. Gambling. But this freaking Virginia Galloway Bible thumper telling me I don't want to live in a state with legalized gambling. Here's where it really pisses me off. This is where it really gets me going, Pat. Is that statistically?
I didn't realize that when I sent that literally like an hour before the podcast that this was going to happen.
Statistically in the U.S., I didn't have enough time to pull this up, but I can pull it. And if I'm wrong, I'm not wrong by much. The margin of error is maybe 2 to 3%. But statistically in the U.S., do you know how many Christians or church attenders pay their tithe to the American church? You know the percentage of those people that pay their tithe, which is black and white in the Bible that you may or may not believe, but it is in black and white that you should give back 10% of your income in a form of a tithe to the church in faith and to allow the church to do its thing. Do you know how many, the percentage of Christians sitting in seats, a lot like Virginia Galloway? Now, maybe she's paying her tithe, maybe she's not, but the percentage in the American church is 5%.
I was going to say it's less than 10%, I bet.
5%. So it is likely that people like Virginia Galloway are going to vote against that, block it, when it has nothing to do with them, because they're not going to gamble. They have a choice. They don't have to gamble. You don't have to walk into a casino. You don't have to place a bet. You don't have to do that. You have a choice, but you're going to vote against it and be outspoken against it and make Bible believers look like they're, these judgmental buttholes, right? You're going to do that when likely the numbers say you don't even pay your freaking tithe, which is black and white. If this thing gets blocked in Georgia, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm a Georgia boy through and through. I love the state of Georgia. I love where I live. Gosh dang, though. If it gets blocked, I'm going to need – I would strongly –
I was going to talk about, more about, you mentioned how, she says it brings more crime and whatever else into the state. I don't know. Where's that come from?
We don't know.
How do you know that?
The crime comes when it's not legal. The crime comes when it's underground. It's like,
Yeah, that's
It's like
more
alcohol during
criminal.
Prohibition. You had in Prohibition, you had the gangsters leading the alcohol sales ring, and
Yeah,
this lady doesn't know what she's talking about. She's a I don't know, that really set me off. And I'm telling you what, man, like if the state of Georgia, if us Bible Belt folks block that thing, I'm gonna be so. If you're a listener and you're in Georgia, you better make sure you vote on this thing and tell your congressmen, congresswomen, senators, whatever. You want the right, because the Supreme Court said that the states could vote on it and it wasn't illegal at that level, and you want the right to do it. And forget you, Virginia Galloway. Rant over.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make mine shorter than it was gonna be
Sorry.
because you went a little longer than I thought. But
You should've let me go
my
first.
rant is we're gonna talk about a little bit of COVID stuff here in the PGA Tour, and not specifically Nick Watney here, but our boy Geoff Shackleford wrote an article recently. Actually, it came out yesterday. And first off, where the F did Geoff Shackleford come from? Like, what does he know about golf and the industry and everything? Like, I want to know his history because I don't know it. This guy seems to be like the speaker of the golf world for some reason, and I don't think he knows shit about golf. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if he plays golf. He probably doesn't, and if he does, he probably sucks. And if he sucks and he listens to this and he wants to battle me, then you can go against me any day, because I don't. This guy, he is a clickbait writer. And it sucks. And he's talking about, okay, the tour is not doing all the things that they need to do that's necessary when it comes to COVID-19 and taking all the precautions. Dude, are you freaking kidding me? I mean, look, do you not think the tour, they had 3 months to figure this shit out. 3 months, okay? And they had one guy that tested positive, and Nick Watney, last weekend, okay? And that was the second weekend they've had a tournament. Let's talk about the numbers here, all right? There's 156 players, right? There's 156, we're just going to go on average here, 156 caddies that are with those players. You got all the tour officials and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and bet that there's probably at least 700-800 people that are involved in a tour event, okay? And that's the first week. That was 800. And then the second, let's just go ahead and say 2,000. We had one person that got tested positive. Okay? And now you're going to go out and write an article that says the tour isn't doing it right? When we see like Ian Poulter show a video on his Twitter feed of him getting a damn swab thrown up to his brain so that he can get tested, and they're doing everything they can possibly do. But you're going to hate on that. But not only are you going to hate on what the PGA Tour is doing and what they put a lot of effort into, as far as I'm concerned, you're going to say and imply in your article that they need to be wearing masks outside while they're playing fucking golf. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Okay? They're outside. I've played golf for 3 months now outside. We separate. We do our social distancing thing. We are in separate carts and things like that. But I don't need to wear a damn mask outside on the golf course in 90-degree heat for 4.5 hours. Are you fucking kidding me? That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen. And then he brings up, here's what he did. And this is where a lot of cuss words come.
I didn't read the article. Why did he say that would help? Why did he mention like?
He didn't even say why it would help. He just said because other people are doing it. So that's what my next point is. NASCAR. He said NASCAR is doing it where they're in their own car. Well, I don't know. I mean, okay, you're in your own car. That's even
dumber.
Which is dumb as shit anyway.
Wait a minute. NASCAR's doing that? They're having to wear masks in the car?
He brought up, I got a couple more examples. He brought up bull riding. The bull riders apparently are wearing masks before they go out and they get on. All right, look, I don't know anything about bull riding, but I did see a movie about bull riding, and all I know is they got to ride that shit for 8 seconds, okay? 8 fucking seconds, all right? That's not 4.5 hours on a damn golf course. All right, I can wear a mask for 8 seconds on a bull, okay, but I'm not wearing a mask in 90-degree heat outside.
Heat.
Okay, I'm getting my Southern is getting into
your country's coming out right now, buddy.
Then he talked about all right, so he's bringing up examples like we're stretching it. We're going cornhole now. So he's going cornhole in his article. All right, so they're wearing masks. I've seen it on ESPN. They're wearing masks. I agree with them, but they're indoors and they're right next to each other, and there's a lot going on. They're not outdoors where things are like. Look, outdoors has been shown. Dr. Fauci, who you probably love, Geoff Shackleford. You probably want to go sleep, like have a sleepover with him. Like you and Geoff Shackleford could. I mean, Shackleford, Fauci, great combination. Look,
you guys want to watch scary movies together and stay up real late and
you don't need a mask on your entire 18-hole round outdoors. Okay, Shackleford. Okay, that's not happening. And look, I think the tour's done a great job if you think about it. One case, all of these people. Look. I agree. You've got to take all the precautions and everything, and it's the social distancing. But don't give me this whole thing about and you show a picture of them fist bumping and stuff like that. Come on, man. That's not spreading it right there. Or the elbow bumps when we saw Webb and them at the end of when Webb and who do you play with? Sunday, whoever you play with.
No, I can't remember.
They did the elbow bump and things like that. Look, that's life. That's people just living, trying to do the best they can do. Shackleford, you're an idiot as far as I'm concerned. And I don't, it's just clickbait crap media coverage of it. I don't even know where it is. And you're another guy that just came out earlier, by the way. I'm just going to go and say this, that hates the new media because you're so old school. And I can't stand you anyway. So
yeah, he got into it with the foreplay guys. Oh man,
so
dude, I can't believe I didn't read the article. I didn't know it was like that, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if the PGA Tour told Brooks Koepka he had to play and wear a mask? You know what Brooks would say?
He'd be like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah. Me and Jenner are going to the Maldives then. We'll see you when you guys quit being dumbasses, is what he said.
Yeah, look. Hey, we're trying to get sports back, and we're trying to do it properly. And the PGA Tour, I think, is doing the right things. And so you're going to hate on that. Like, there's going to be mistakes that are made. Like, this is new territory. Nobody's ever dealt with COVID-19 before. But the PGA Tour is doing all they can to try and get sports back and get things going back to normal. So you're going to write a hate article and just this BS and throw out this stuff and like fear mongering and whatever else. Like that's what pisses me off, is that people are trying to work hard to do things the right way, and yet you're going to complain about it. That is that pisses me off all the time, because you're not in those talks. You're not there at the PGA Tour. You're not sitting in Jay Monahan's office trying to talk about all the different things that you need to do to try to make this work. No, you're just there to write an article to complain about it. That is what really pisses me off.
Dude, that thing was probably drafted before Colonial. Like, you probably had a draft of that thing going before Colonial, just ready to. It's something that I can get going and have clickbait on and be done.
Yeah. Anyway, so done with
stuff.
That, and all right.
Speaking of all that, hopefully Nick Watney's doing well and feeling better, and hopefully recovers. And I mean, I hope nobody else. I hope he didn't spread it, and I hope nobody else gets it. I mean, I'm not going to be shocked if somebody else does, but hopefully
it's going to happen, man. I mean, it's an incredibly infectious disease. It's going to happen, but I feel like the tour is, from what I've seen and read, if you read through all the protocols, they're doing the right things. Yeah. I mean, things are going to happen.
Crazy. All right, well, we pissed off Geoff Shackleford and Virginia Galloway. Didn't see that one coming, but hey, we'll take both of yous on. Okay, we'll meet you on the golf course. We'll meet you in the ring. We'll meet you. We'll meet you at a debate place, wherever you go, a location where you may argue about some stuff. We'll meet you there. Yeah, we'll do it, both of you. I want a piece of you, Virginia. That's what I want. I want a piece of you. I want you to tell me about why I don't want to live in Georgia all of a sudden after they legalize gambling. I want you to talk to me about that.
I want Shackleford on my course right now.
Yeah.
I bet he won't even have a pre-drink or anything. He probably won't even drink until afterwards.
You wouldn't even have a bloody in the morning, which would
No.
just send you to the moon. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Next week, we're going to have a great last segment. Pat is going to read rap lyrics again. It's happened twice on the show in our history. Both times, it's been way better than you would possibly think it could be. Next week, we're going to bring it back. He's going to just simply read rap lyrics, and it will be a song that he's never heard. Please go ahead and submit what you'd like him to read, whether it's you can send it to our Twitter, Instagram, email, whatever. If you have any suggestions, it's fantastic. So there you go. That's coming up next week, along with breaking down the golf as usual. Thanks for watching. May your screens be green. See ya.
Out.